Hello folks, and welcome to another episode of Mondo on the World. Today I want to talk to you about the plight of people in Africa. Now, I don't have any ill will towards the people in Africa. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh, they ought to get a job and get their stuff together and, start feeding people. Which they should, but I'm not gonna sit here and say it's all their fault. But what I am gonna talk to you about is those commercials that you see sometimes on there, where you see the malnutrition children, and they talk about every couple of weeks an African child dies because they're not getting enough food, and I have sympathy towards those people. But what I think they're doing wrong is they're asking the organization who runs those commercials and shows those commercials is asking John Q. Public to give money to help them, which I understand why, sort of, as far as trying to get money. But what they don't understand is that most of John Q. Public can't afford to, handle paying for children being malnutritioned and all that stuff. I know they say that, oh, if you do this, it'll only cost you a cup of what costs a cup of coffee and all like that. But the thing of it is, and that's all well and good, but the thing of it is that it adds up. And I don't know about you, but people like me need that money for personal use, and I'm not talking about going to movies or going out to dinner or anything like that. I'm talking about for physical needs. And we don't get enough money as it is, and we have people calling on the phone or talking to us on TV about how if you pay this much money, it'll only amount to a price of a cup of coffee, and it's okay, you can handle it. Well, I got news for you. Not a lot of us can handle it. And I'm talking about able-bodied people, disabled people. I'm talking about people that are on SSI. Like, I have a friend down the street who is on SSI. And, he gets about a lot of money. I mean, he gets not a lot of money, but he gets the same amount of money that you get on SSI, and he doesn't have a lot of money to send off to Africa to help children that are having those kind of problems. So my suggestion is that they come up with some kind of fund that handles you. They put in, like, the legislature, the country legislature puts in a little bit of money for the kids in Africa, or maybe you put put some of the tax money that the people of the United States pay and put that towards the African plight, and maybe that'll build it up, and then somebody can monitor it, like FEMA or the Red Cross or somebody that, it's their job to handle that area of problem, and maybe we can at least put a dent in the hunger problem in the third world countries. But I really think that they need to stop making people, private citizens, feel bad because they live in the United States, and a lot of us can have food and a place to live and stuff like that. But I can tell you, as a person of experience, there's a lot of things that I would like to do. I'd like to take trips. I'd like to go out to dinner a little more often. I'd like to go to see an entertaining show, but a lot of times I can't because I just don't have the money that will allow me to do that. So I just think that organizations that run those commercials need to take that into account and just stop running those commercials, which they've tapered off a bit. But they need to stop it and just run some kind of a trust fund for the kids and the people in Africa that the country can draw on and send to Africa, and then they can use that money to at least put a dent in the hunger, and maybe not so many children will die because of malnutrition or stuff. And maybe even they can get enough money to start sending some kids to school and stuff like that, instead of bothering people in the United States that have the same type of problems too, though they're not as heavy, but they're pretty heavy for them. And I just think that they ought to change that and just find another way to do it. But that's my opinion for this topic, and I hope that this show was informative and you enjoyed it to a certain amount. And we will see you again on the next episode of Mondo on the World, hopefully with a much more exciting and happy topic. Thank you, and we'll see you next time on Mondo on the World. Goodbye.